Despite not making headlines and not experiencing massive, aggressive surges of masked paid agitators, otherwise called ICE agents, Colorado has still been a focus of Trump's manic rhetoric about so-called migrant crime. Sure enough, Colorado has seen a quiet but real surge of 281% of arrests from 2024 to 2025. The impact in a place like Colorado is huge. This land was part of Mexico in earlier treaties. When the U.S. took 55% of Mexico in 1848, the U.S. government promised to honor existing land grants to the Mexican families who lived there. Guess what? You know what. The U.S. lied. So today, Colorado's people are comprised of a huge population of native-born Latinx whose families predate Colorado as a state. As a lefty and a human, you should know I will not fall for an appeal about borders or immigration law. Laws and borders move. People are the community that is ever evolving, but ultimately made up in large part by the Latin Americans who settled here first. My mindset now established, I looked up some numbers. In 2024, there were 1,091 immigration arrests. In 2025, 4,160 arrests. 52% of the arrests in 2024 had prior criminal convictions or records. That number dropped to 37% in 2025. 19% of the arrests in 2024 took place in the community, disrupting the lives of everyday Coloradans. That number jumped to around 50% of arrests in 2025 by the summer, and then by the end of the year, 80% in our communities. Deportation data from the same years. In 2024, 665 were deported. In 2025, 2,912 were deported. So the deportation rate in 2024 was 61%. That climbed a little bit to 70% in 2025. But then the numbers, if you do some math about the percentage of criminal convictions, the percentage of those deported, and you just do a little bit of math assuming every single person they arrested who had a prior criminal record, they deported them first. Obviously, why wouldn't they? That's what I'm going to assume, giving them the best intentions. So in 2024, say they did that. 52% of 1,091 total arrests is 567 people. 665 deported minus 567 means 98 people with no prior criminal record were deported in 2024. Not ideal, but 98. I guess within the margin of error. Same math in 2025. 37% of the 4,160 arrests means that 1,539 criminals were arrested. Out of 2,810 deportations, take away 1,539 with prior records, you are left with 1,373 with no priors. That's well outside the margin of error. Not ideal at all. Immigration is definitely not doing their job if this is the result.
Editor Lefty here to say that reporting from 9 News and data from ICE.gov's website adjusts this number to 2,413 people who were deported without criminal records.
They promised us they would get rid of the worst and only go after the criminals. Do not forget their campaign promise. So what does effective criminal enforcement on immigration look like to you? Because to me, it's only deporting violent criminals. Not parking violations, not paperwork violations, not even being caught up in our awful no-good immigration system. Undocumented is a paperwork status. Colorado has around 160,000 undocumented immigrants living and working and raising families. 458,000 Coloradans are either undocumented or they live with and love an undocumented person. That means 8% of us Coloradans are directly intimately impacted by this non-criminal focused enforcement. It doesn't improve safety to tear apart communities. And that's what this is. They put $6.7 billion into our economy, and they pay $1.9 billion to taxes. It's true, Colorado does use state funds to give all residents, including undocumented, access to Medicaid. And you, if you're a Coloradan, might not like that. But the numbers show that this population technically contributes to the community pool from which these benefits are derived. It's how taxes are supposed to work. Community members work and pay into the pot. The pot supports the community in need, builds schools, funds safety and infrastructure. I don't know, maybe I'm super silly thinking this way. My point is, this was never the answer to the problem, because the problem was never immigrants. Colorado only deported 1.82% of their undocumented population in 2025. And all we've really done is increase the percentage of innocent families devastated when we look at the number of those without prior criminal records deported last year versus the year before. 100% enforcement, the way some people on the right want, will devastate 1 in 12 Coloradans. If you are Coloradan, you know at least 12 people. Your kids' classmates, their parents, their teachers, their teammates, coaches, your coworkers, your friends at the bar, the friends at the gym, the lady at the coffee shop who knows your order by heart. Deporting them just hurts all of us and lets some bureaucrats check off a piece of paper that says, "Hey, look, we just moved 160,000 pawns."
Hey everybody, I really like keeping an eye on these local topics, so if you appreciate what I do, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.